Hey, happy day 581. 581. And what's she up to now? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. Nice to meet you. If we haven't met yet, often I go by the name of Pajama Grandma, and I'm actually in a very special pair of pajamas today. It belonged to my 99-year-old grandma who actually passed away, I want to say 3 weeks ago today. Yeah, 3 weeks ago today. And so in honor of her, I'm wearing one of her favorite little pajama sets and sporting a new haircut. It's interesting. I'm not used to it yet. You know, whenever you get a new haircut, I got bangs and I'm not used to bangs. And since I have challenging vision, I can see better out of my right eye than I can out of my left eye. The bangs, of course, are in my right eye. So when they get in my right eye, I get a little bit like freaked out and annoyed, but I'll get used to them. Anytime there's change in our life, it's something to get used to. But let's talk about the flip side today. A couple of things I'll go into first. First off, One Funnel Away Challenge, day 11 today, which is really day 4, for week 1, day 4. But they do a preliminary week, a week about belief and mindset. And they use that week to filter people out that are going to not do the challenge anyway. Because if you can't get over the mindset thing, if you can't get over the belief that it's possible for you and that you can do it and other people have done it, and if they have done it, then you can do it too, then that kind of weeds people out. If you're stuck in the belief and the mindset thing, which is the biggest hurdle that any of us have that stops us from doing anything that we want, it's going to filter you out. It reminds me of college when, you know, the first couple of years of college are all about... Sorry, running late today, so my alarms are going off. It's all about weeding people out of different programs. I mean, I think of even back when I was in college, which is a long, long time ago now, the first year or two was a lot of classes designed to get you to quit school, get you out of that system, which I think is fascinating since it's big business and it was big business back then. Why would you want to weed people out and have them flunk out and fail out of school? It doesn't make really logical sense, but there's a lot of things in our lives and in our worlds that don't really make sense, right? I think we can agree on that. There's a lot of things we just don't understand why and how they work the way that they do. And maybe it's that they can have a new crop every year. Like my dad used to say, hey, there's a new crop every year of students and things, but it doesn't seem like very smart customer service to me, but that's counterintuitive. So the One Funnel Away Challenge, today is day 4. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing because I'm purposefully not remembering what I've done the previous times I've gone through the challenge. I'm doing it brand new. Yesterday, we created our own offers for our entire funnel. So our lead magnet, our sales page, and then our upsell. And this might be foreign to you, but I've talked about these things enough that probably not. But we need to have a multiple faceted offer for each of those pages of our funnel or aspects of our funnel. So that's what we did yesterday. Today, I honestly cannot remember. This week's all about offer creation. So maybe it's a catch-up day. Maybe it's I don't know. We'll find out. I'll find out when I do the lesson after I create my videos and my content today. So working on the One Funnel Away Challenge. And as a part of that, I'm of course coming up with an offer and a product or service that I'll launch at the, I don't know if it'll be probably a week or so from now, and let you know what that is. So I'm doing that. Also still in the process of moving, fixing up the old house, getting haircuts, you know, living life, doing those kind of things. And today it was talking about the flip side of the coin and a different perspective, or the other side of the coin actually. And I use my handy dandy quarter with the traditional quarter on the front, the new version of the traditional quarter since they've beefed those up. And then this one's actually West Virginia. And I only know because I looked it up with my magnifying glass for about half an hour trying to figure out what the heck it was. Quarters got really interesting for a few years and the kids collected them, which was fun. A lot of times I think we just took money and change and quarters for granted. You know, hey, here's a quarter. And they always look the same on the front and the back, so we never questioned what was on the other side. And how interesting is that? How often do we actually question what is on the other side of our beliefs, our thoughts, our judgments, our feelings? Not very often, right? And I guess the quarters reminded me of this because so often we just go through our day-to-day life and our day-to-day business thinking and doing the same things that we've habitually been doing without ever questioning why we're doing it. And My 4-year-old granddaughter is really good about that. She's in the why phase still. She's been going through it for about 2 years, and I love it because she's so curious and so inquisitive that she asks why all the time. And sometimes it's annoying when little kids go through that phase, but other times it's really fascinating because they ask why about things that we have long ago stopped asking why about. And if we asked ourselves, why are we doing this? Why are we thinking this? Why are we feeling this way? A lot of times we would realize how ridiculous our thoughts and feelings and beliefs are. Often I find if I ask myself, well, why did I think that? Why did I feel that? Why did I react that way? I find that I'm running old tapes and old programs in the background and on the subconscious level of myself that I didn't even realize I had, much less was I conscious of. So asking myself, well, why the heck did I overreact to that? Why did I snap at the ex-husband? Why did I get upset about something somebody said? Why did I this or that? It allows me the opportunity to actually check in with, do I really think that? Do I believe that? Yeah, I believed it 20 years ago, but I'm in a totally different place in my life now. I don't have to choose to continue to believe or think that way. And so it's just kind of refreshing to flip the coin over and look at the other side of the coin sometimes. Look at life and experiences from a different perspective and realize that sometimes our own perspective has changed, but we haven't changed some of the underlying thoughts and feelings and beliefs and ways of reacting that are just habitual. They're not really ways that we want to be. They're just ways that we haven't bothered looking at long enough to say, yeah, that's not even me. That's not even my belief. I don't know where it came from. Obviously, I adopted over the experiences that I've had over a long period of time, but do I even really believe that? It's true of social issues, politics, religion, our thoughts and feelings about ourselves and what we are or are not capable of. So often we have adopted and fallen into the trap of believing what other people have told us. Our bosses, our family, our parents, our friends, our acquaintances, the people that we've hung out with. We have gotten our identity from those experiences and those people. And it might not even feel good to us, but we're still going through the motions of being the person that they've told us we are, when that's not even who we are. And anytime we want, we can just change that by tapping into and thinking about, well, who am I really? Who do I want to be? What do I believe? Because all of us are capable of changing and growing and developing and being whoever it is that we want to be. So today, take a coin out, look at both sides, not just one side, look at both sides, flip it over and look at both sides, just as a reminder to you to question yourself, question your motives, question why you're thinking, feeling, behaving, and doing things that you do. You know, I get up and I drink a cup of coffee every day. You know, every once in a while I should say, do I really want a cup of coffee today? Maybe I just want a giant glass of lemon water. Maybe I want a tea. Maybe I want a fruit juice. Maybe I want something totally different. But I've habitually, for probably the last 3 years, gotten up and automatically, you know, after I get a little cleaned up so I can make videos and, you know, brush my teeth and things, the first thing I do when I come upstairs is I make a cup of coffee. And I'm like, really? And I actually enjoy my cup of coffee in the morning, so maybe that's not a great example, but I can question, you know, maybe I do want a great big glass of water. Maybe I want something different. And it's okay to mix things up. And, you know, why do I have that habit? And I want to revalidate some of the things I'm doing every once in a while on a periodic basis. And we used to do audits in my corporate world. I was in charge of doing audits of different departments and processes and procedures and systems to ensure that we were delivering the quality of whatever we wanted to the customers, to each different department, because quality isn't just the quality of the end product, it's the quality of each of the systems and how you interact with each of the different departments in your organization. So I always did audits, and I started doing that in my life. Every once in a while, like right now, I'm doing an audit of my own health and my vitamins. I've done a lot with respect to my personal health, especially since, you know, my cardiac arrest in 2010. I've always been my own science experiment. So this week, since I'm not hanging out with my 4-year-old granddaughter, I decided I would go cold turkey on all of my vitamins and nutrients and supplements. Just stop taking all of them, because I've been playing with them for a long time. And, you know, I'd add and subtract and add and subtract, but I've never just stopped taking all of them. once about 5 years ago, I did that and tried a different supplement, but I'm doing it now again, just for a week. And it's really interesting because I notice how hard it is for me to move. So there's obviously supplements that I take that help me a lot with respect to my mobility, my physical ability to move my joints. As we get older, we get worse arthritis, and some of us have had it since our youth. So it's interesting. Of course, I didn't stop taking my heart medicine. I need to do that. But I did stop taking everything else just to test out and experience and experiment with what should I be taking? Because every once in a while, our bodies change over the years, our cells change over. And what we needed in the past isn't what we need right now. Sometimes we find that what we're doing is really, really bad for us, even if we think it's good for us. I found that out 3 years ago. I had been doing everything I thought for my heart health for a long time. And all of a sudden, I was bedridden and couldn't walk because I was in intense inflammation pain. I had just a huge inflammation flare and I couldn't walk. And it turns out it was because about 80% of the foods I was consuming are really, really bad for my blood type. Now, whether you believe in the blood type, diet type things or not, doesn't matter. I just know it really helped me and worked for me. Within 3 weeks, I was back out of bed and I was doing 90% of what I could do before, and I couldn't get out of bed. So that was the thing that worked for me to get my system back into some kind of equilibrium. And prior, I'd never heard of it before then. I just had never heard of it. And one of my friends is a nurse and nutritionist, and she's like, hey, I don't know if this will work for you, but try this. And it made sense, and it felt good to me, and it felt right. So I tried it. And like I said, in a week, I could get out of bed. In 3 weeks, I was, almost back to normal and doing my usual routine. And so every once in a while since then, I like to just go back and say, oh, time to clean everything out and see what's working for me and what's not working for me. And we need to do the same thing with our thoughts and our beliefs and our feelings, and just an audit on who are we becoming as a human being. Now, maybe you don't believe this, but I believe that it's important for us to be experiencing life as we are meant to and as best we can, because bottom line, we come here with nothing and we're leaving with nothing. I mean, none of us are getting out of this life alive. We're all here for a limited amount of time. None of us know how long that time is. So I think we want to do as much as we can and impact and positively impact as much as we can and as many people as we can while we're here. And that involves personal development, continuous improvement, being the best version of ourselves, a continually improving version of ourselves. This is my philosophy. And since it's what's she up to now, I guess that's what we're talking about. So in order to know, are we moving along in that direction, I like to do just self-audits every once in a while and find out, how do I think I'm doing? Same with goal setting. My father was very big on the importance of goal setting and writing your goals down and seeing if you're actually moving toward them or away from them. And once you have them, once you know what you want, it's really easy to make decisions in life. So many people struggle with the day-to-day decisions that we have to make that it's really interesting. But I think that there's a direct correlation between whether you've got goals and objectives and are moving towards something and you know what that is and you've clearly defined that for yourself, and your ability to easily make decisions or not. And I think that it's interesting, but if you can make quick decisions, it's because you've got that in mind, and you make all of your decisions based on, is this decision, is this choice moving me toward that or away from that? And if it's moving you toward it, it's really easy to make a decision, because it's either for you or it's not for you. And so to me, it's important to have those goals and those objectives. And so the flip side of the coin is sometimes all we have to do to alleviate the challenges and the struggles and the strife that appears in our life is just to put ourselves in other people's shoes. Try to see situations and things from other people's perspective. And if we do that, a lot of the arguments, a lot of the challenges, a lot of the difficulties that we have within ourselves and with other people just go away and disappear. So try to see life and things from a broader perspective, a bigger picture, and see if that doesn't make things go more smoothly for you. That's it. Go out, have an awesome day. I've got a gazillion things to do today, like usual, and try to stay focused and move toward my goals and objectives as I recommend you do as well. See you tomorrow. Bye.